Georgia versus Keith Barber. You were before this court for no license, concealing the ID of a motor vehicle, another no license, no insurance, or expired or invalid license plates or decal following too close, all on the 17th day of October 2023. You were sentenced to 12 months on probation. You have 2 months and 17 days remaining, and your probation was told because you failed to report on November 15th and December 15th of 2023, February 27th, March 15th, April 3rd, April 15th, and within 10 days of May 2nd of 2024. You last reported on February 6th of 2024. You failed to pay your fines, fees, and supervision fees in the amount of $2,339.03. You have made no payments to your obligations to the court. All right, talk to me, Mr. Lynch.
So, Judge, I did want to make clear from speaking to my client, he did indicate that he did want to stipulate and accept the recommendation from Ms. Chang. But as far as the non-reporting, I believe there were some issues with, he just moved back to Georgia. He had been reporting, I think, by phone from Florida. Is that accurate? So that was, and there may have been some misunderstanding on his part as far as when he needed to report next. But that means,
Mr. Barber, when I do phone and mail report, you know what I say every single time? It's not really phone report because they have too many people and too many folks trying to call them. So the best thing to do is to get 12 stamped addressed envelopes and take the form that they give you and put 12 copies in there. And every time you need to report, fill out that form, go by the post office and drop the form in there. That's what I explain every single time. So I'm not sure how you could have messed that up. You just couldn't find the post office, couldn't afford a stamp. What was going on?
I mean, I was living in Florida, Your Honor,
And they don't have post offices in Florida? Last time I checked, I know the post office is in bad shape, but they still got a post office or two.
Yeah, I understand that, ma'am. But I was trying to get in touch with my probation officer. She never told me to report only but one time. And it was recent. I was told to report by phone.
Okay. First of all, sir, you got Miss Chang. She is the most experienced probation officer that we have. Not only is she the most experienced, she's probably the best that we have. And I'm not saying that it to denigrate any of the other probation officers, but she's been doing this so well for so long that nobody questions it. So when you tell me you got Miss Chang, but you didn't understand what was going on, I really can't believe you.
No, it's not that I don't understand what was going on. It's just where she told me that I don't have to report in person.
Okay, I probably told you you didn't have to report in person. If I said phone and mail report, I told you you didn't have to report in person, but you do have to report by dropping the letter in the mail on the days when you're supposed to do it so it gets to her. Now, if you fail to go by the post office, you're just trifling. Yeah. So all these excuses, how old are you, sir?
32. I don't have an excuse. I know I did it wrong.
You do not have an excuse. And so what you're not going to do is try and put it on Miss. No, I'm sorry. And I don't even care if you say I was unclear.
No, I'm not putting on. I know I was at fault, though. I'm not putting on Miss.
Okay, then. So then you just messed up on probation. You didn't report. Start with all this. Well, I didn't know. I wasn't sure. I didn't get a date. All of that rigmarole. No, sir. You're 32 years old. Get it together. When you planning to get your life together? These are traffic offenses. All we asked you to do was pay. That meant you could have been out there working construction or forklift or lawn maintenance. I don't care what you do. Plumbing, HVAC, any of those things. To make the money, pay your money, drop your money and your report form in the mail and get it done. But you sitting around growing a beard and can't get it done, and you back in jail on some traffic stuff. Traffic, driving, traffic, basic stuff. You sitting in an orange jumpsuit. You ain't kill nobody, but you in an orange jumpsuit for some foolishness. Think about what you're doing to waste your life. Think about it. Does this make any sense?
No, ma'am.
Do you have kids?
Yes, ma'am.
If your son did something stupid like this on a traffic offense, dude, all you got to do is pay the fines and send in your little letter and report. And he like, well, you know, whatever. I don't understand. And then he ends up in an orange jumpsuit. Is that something you trying to teach him to do?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then why are you showing him that that's what daddy's doing? As long as you in an orange jumpsuit, you're not, one, being a father to your kids, two, helping support your kids, because you can't keep a job in the jail, and three, setting a good example for your kids. I love these dads who gonna be out here, let your child do something great. You're gonna be in a bar thumping your chest talking about that's my seed, that's my son, but you didn't help to get them there.
I think Mr. Barber, like myself, has a daughter rather than not.
Well, that's even worse, because you know who she gonna end up being with? Somebody who gonna spend their life in an orange jumpsuit. If the example of what a man looks like is what you're doing, she's gonna be miserable.
No, it's not, Your Honor.
Well, what you teaching her different?
Judge, he did just recently, after moving back to Georgia, he does have a good job. He's working at Plaza Security in Atlanta. He does have a place to stay in Atlanta.
Which you have just jeopardized for failure to put a letter in the mail. The whole time you were in Florida, for failure to drop by the post office, buy some stamps and some envelopes, and put a letter in the mail, you have jeopardized a good job. This is what I mean. When you do stuff, there are consequences, and you are failing to think about the consequences of your actions. So now you've decided to get a good job and support your family, but you're messing up your good job because the easiest thing I could have asked you to do, sir, put your money and a letter in the mail. You didn't do it. I asked no community service. I didn't ask you to do any of that. You could do it from wherever you were in the world. I didn't restrict you in any other way. Drop a letter in the mail and pay. And now you're about to mess up the good job you have now for the triflingness that you had then. And I'm gonna fuss because I don't want to see you back here. All right, tell me what we stipulating and agreeing to, Ms. Chang, because I'm just done. The easiest thing Mr. Barber could have done, and he about to mess up his whole life, spending time in an orange jumpsuit on some foolishness.
Your Honor, probation department recommends that 30 days be revoked, credit for time served since September the 9th, and close the case.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes, Your Honor. So we're going to ask that you follow that recommendation.
All right. Okay, makes sense. But Mr. Barber, get it together, sir.
It won't happen again, Your Honor.
I sure hope not. Because your daughter does not need a father who goes to jail for stupid stuff. Because when she brings home that knucklehead that she patterned after you, don't you say a word. Don't you say a word. Because this is what I taught you a man looks like. So I cannot say a word. Okay? Just be warned. I'm telling you. 1 second. My computer's... All right. So Mr. Barber, just I don't know how to emphasize it enough that most of the time when we have troubles in our life, it's because we don't make good decisions. You need to make good decisions because you have a child that's dependent upon you. And so your child does not need to see you make dumb decisions. They just don't. So Ms. Chang, I sent one of the petitions. Do I need to do both? Because I think I had two, but it's pretty much the same, right?
They're all in one petition. Yes.
Oh, okay. I think I may have gotten it twice. Let's see. Yeah. All right, Mr. Barber, you're free to go back with the sheriff's office, sir. Hopefully you'll be getting out today to get back to that job.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
All right.